Good evening. The time is 6:05 p.m. I welcome you to the joint committee meeting of the Health, Education, and Welfare and the Land and Natural Resources and Cultural Preservation Committees. I'm the chairperson, Joyce Deere, and I welcome you to this meeting. And right now, I will ask Representative Crawford to do our invocation. If you can stand if you're able. Hello, Representative Crawford. Roll call, Legislative Clerk April Lindsay.
Mary Crawford.
Present.
Joyce Deere.
Present.
Robert Huff.
Present.
Leonard Gouge.
Here.
Anna Marshall.
Present.
Charles McHenry. Galen Cloud.
Delege.
Darrell Proctor.
Here.
Nelson Harjo.
Here.
Joseph Hicks.
Here.
Charles McHenry. Madam Chair, you got 10 present and 0 absent.
10 present and 0 absent constitutes a quorum. All business conducted will be official.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Representative Marshall.
Yes. I'd like to make a motion that we approve the minutes of May the 16th, 2023 with any necessary changes.
We have a motion by Representative Marshall to approve the minutes of May the 16th with any necessary corrections. Second by Representative Harjo. Roll call vote, please.
Anna Marshall.
Yes.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Galen Cloud. Nelson Harjo.
Yes.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Darrell Proctor. Mary Crawford.
Yes.
Robert Huff.
Yes.
Leonard Gouge.
Yes.
Madam Chair, you got 9 in favor and 0 against.
9 in favor and 0 against. The minutes of May the 16th are approved. Order of business, TR 23-052, a tribal resolution of the Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing the principal chief to execute a purchase-sale agreement for property located in Muskogee County, Oklahoma. Sponsor Mary Crawford, co-sponsor Joyce Deere. This was postponed on May the 16th, 2023.
Motion for due pass.
We have a motion for due pass from Representative Crawford.
Second.
Is this to due pass the substitute, Ms. Crawford?
Yeah.
In a second. Is there a second?
Madam Chair, I seconded it.
Seconded by Representative Marshall. Discussion. Mr. Terry. You have the floor. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We're excited to bring this legislation forward for consideration. I know that I've been talking about this for the last several months in HEW. This hospital located in Muskogee is a 100,000 square foot facility. It's about 15 years old. The purchase price on this facility is about $48 a square foot. If we were to build this brand new, you guys know the price of construction, which is upwards of $600 easily per square foot. So there is going to be a series of payment options that we're going to pursue with this. One of the methods of down payment is going to be included in a piece of ARPA language that we're bringing forward in just a few motions. This initial piece is we will have an escrow of $250,000 that we have to pay within 10 days of executing this agreement tonight. And so we will pay that, and then we will make a down payment of $10 million, and then we'll be financing the rest with our construction loans. And then we'll debt service this building through the 105L lease program, which at the end of the day, it'll basically cost the tribe nothing to get this hospital. The intention of this hospital is going to be to provide inpatient and outpatient addiction medicine and treatment of substance abuse there. And we hope that we're going to have a 30-day stay for both men and women in that facility. We haven't gotten entirely through adolescent treatment yet. We're still working on trying to figure out how to work some of the adolescent treatment in. But that's the nature of this facility. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions for Mr. Terry from the committee? Representative McHenry.
Madam Chair.
Representative McHenry.
I would just like to ask, I know it says, and we've been told this before, but this is coming out part of the opioid settlement, correct?
Part of it, yes.
Yes, sir.
We are expected to receive the opioid settlement. I think the first payment's this month, I believe. And so if we can debt service the financing of this building without using too much opioid money, I think that it would be best to utilize that opioid money for the operations of the facility, because we're going to have to buy a lot of equipment and staff and operations. So I think that's where we're headed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Representative McHenry. Representative Marshall, you have a question?
Yes, Mr. Terry. With the purchase of this property, is there going to be any renovations or anything that has to be done, or is it just ready to go?
So St. Francis Hospital that owns this facility has started decommissioning this building to be operated as a hospital by code. And so we're going to have to go back in and do some general repair to the facility. You know, Council Oak, when we bought it, it was very nice, but we've gone back in, put new flooring, new paint, new everything. So we'll do like we do everything. We'll want our citizens to have it very presentable. So we always like to go in and put paint and floors and make it look like it's new. But so there'll be some work to be done, for sure.
Is that it, Representative Marshall? Okay, Representative Harjo.
Yes. You know, when you first talked about this, you had mentioned something about we was going to utilize opioid money
Yes.
for this particular purchase. What changed for the reason for us not to go ahead and use it? And I understand that, you know, we're needing some of that to, you know, manage the place. I kind of figured we'd have to come up with some money to be able to manage and do different things. But what changed is just the fact that we got a better deal in the long run just by paying down and then getting good financing.
So with the 105L lease is basically free money that we get from Indian Health Service.
Mm-hmm.
And so my opinion is we shouldn't use our money if we can use theirs.
Absolutely.
And so if we can get that and not do that, I think it's the tribe's best strategy to use their money to pay for it.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Representative Harjo. Are there other questions from the committee? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Mary Crawford,
Yes.
Robert Huff,
Yes.
Leonard Gouch,
Yes.
Anna Marshall,
Yes.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Galen Cloud,
Yes.
Nelson Harjo,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Darrell Proctor.
Yes.
Madam Chair, you got 9 in favor and 0 against.
9 in favor and 0 against. TR 23-052 is passed. Next item is TR 23-064, a tribal resolution of the Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing the principal chief to execute a contract for the purchase of property located in Tulsa County, Oklahoma. Sponsor Robert Huff, co-sponsor Leonard Gouch.
Madam Chair, make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second from Representative Huft and Representative Gouch for due pass.
Terry.
Terry?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, committee. A year ago, I didn't think I would be in front of you saying this, but we're running out of space at Council Oak, and we're filling up. There was a property that came up for sale directly across the street from Council Oak. It's a building that looks exactly, almost like the exterior of our building. And we approached the gentleman. He was leasing the building and told him that we would like to own the building and include into our property. It's a $1.8 million purchase, and we'll use we will use our $1.8 million of ARPA funds to continue to grow the Council Oak campus. So I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions for Mr. Terry from the committee?
Madam Chair,
Yes, Representative Marshall.
I have a question. Mr. Terry, since you're going to be purchasing or attempting to purchase this property directly across the street, what are your plans for that property? What are you going to put in that property?
Well, today we've got roughly 60 IT positions that we're still trying to find housing for. So we've got IT housing to consider. We've got administrative space. Currently, I've got all of my officers in Council Oak. I've got all of the hospital operations administration in Council Oak. And so, and we've got support staff. We have almost all of our EPIC staff that's now located in Tulsa. So it's just going to be who we find to be the best fit, but it'll be administrative space, not clinical space.
Thank you, Mr. Terry. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Representative Marshall. Are there other questions from the committee? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Robert Huff,
Yes.
Leonard Gouch,
Yes.
Anna Marshall,
Yes.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Galen Cloud,
Yes.
Nelson Harjo,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Darrell Proctor,
Yes.
Mary Crawford.
Yes.
Madam Chair, you got 9 in favor and 0 against.
9 in favor and 0 against. TR 23-064 is passed. Next item, TR 23-066. A tribal resolution of the Muskogee Creek Nation amending TR 19-076, a tribal resolution of the Muskogee Creek Nation to suspend all special appropriations and donations as amended by TR 20-150, TR 21-080, TR 22-128, TR 22-143, TR 22-150, TR 22-155, TR 23-170, and TR 23-045. Sponsor, Representative Mark Randolph. Is there a motion on the floor?
Make a motion to pass.
We have a motion from Representative Huft
Second.
for due pass with a second by Representative McHenry. Discussion.
Thank you, Madam Chair and committees. This is just for the upcoming bill at the end of the agenda. It's just to suspend the special appropriations just for this bill. Thank you.
Are there other questions for Mr. Randolph, Representative Randolph? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Robert Huff,
Yes.
Leonard Gouge,
Yes.
Anna Marshall,
Yes.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Galen Cloud,
Yes.
Nelson Harjo,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Darrell Proctor,
Yes.
Mary Crawford.
Yes.
Madam Chair, you got 9 in favor and 0 against.
9 in favor and 0 against. TR 23-066 is passed. NCA 23-045, a law of the Muskogee Creek Nation amending NCA Title 16, Chapter 1, Subsection 1-102, entitled "The Organization for the Executive Office of the Principal Chief to Organize Various Cultural and Humanities Programs by creating a new Cultural and Humanities Department." Sponsor, Galen Cloud. Co-sponsor, Joe Hicks and Leonard Gouge. This was postponed from emergency session on June the 1st, 2023. Do I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to postpone until our next LNC meeting.
We have a motion on the floor from Representative Cloud to postpone until the next meeting,
Second.
with a second by Representative Gouge. Roll call vote, please.
Galen Cloud,
Yes.
Nelson Harjo,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Darrell Proctor,
Yes.
Mary Crawford,
Yes.
Robert Huff,
Yes.
Leonard Gouge,
Yes.
Anna Marshall,
Yes.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Madam Chair, you got 9 in favor and 0 against.
9 in favor and 0 against. NCA 23-045 is postponed. The next meeting. Next item is NCA 23-063, a law of the Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing the expenditure of the American Rescue Plan Act fiscal recovery funding for the benefit of the Muskogee Creek Nation Department of Health. Sponsor, Robert Huft.
Madam Chair, motion to pass.
We have a motion for due pass from Representative Huft. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Representative Gouge. Discussion.
Mr. Terry, please.
Harry, you have the floor.
Thank you again, Madam Chair. Thank you, committee. I hope that you all had received in an email the executive summary for these projects. This will take away the last of the ARPA dollars that was given to us by the federal government for the opioid pandemic. And so I'm going to run real quickly through that list. If you don't have it in front of you, there's the Council Oak Administrative Building, which we discussed. There is the Council Oak Hospice. It's going to take about $2.3 million that will be utilized for construction of those furniture, fixture, and equipment. We have $400,000 for expansion of pediatrics into Council Oak. And so we've continued just to grow pediatrics every year. And one of the things being in Tulsa, we've just really had lots of requests to grow our pediatric services. So we should be starting that in just the next couple of months. We've got the Holdenville Indian Health Clinic. That's about a 50,000 square foot clinic. This money will go to pay the architect fees, which will be about $1.9 million on that project. The medical center, we're under construction. You guys have appropriated us dollars for that medical center emergency room in the past, but since the pandemic, the cost of healthcare construction has just continued to go up. And so we're going to need about an extra $2.4 million to finish that project out there. the Medical Center LTAC on 2 East. When we relocated the LTAC over to the Medical Center, some of the CMS guidelines says that we need to build a firewall between the inpatient room and the LTAC floors. So we're going to have to renovate that building to be by code. The Muskogee Hospital down payment, which I discussed earlier. We're also going to finally move the dental clinic in Okemah over to the hospital, where we've said that we were going to do that for years. So I'm happy that we're finally going to get that done and bring that over to the hospital. And then it's going to pay the Sapulpa land and the architect for the Sapulpa project, and that's $3.8 million. And I know that's a lot, and I'll end with that and answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Terry. Are there questions for Mr. Terry from the committee? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Robert Huff,
Yes.
Leonard Gouch,
Yes.
Anna Marshall,
Yes.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Galen Cloud,
Yes.
Nelson Harjo,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Darrell Proctor,
Yes.
Mary Crawford.
Yes.
Madam Chair, you got 9 in favor and 0 against.
9 in favor and 0 against. NCA 23-063 is passed. Next item, NCA 23-065, a law of the Muskogee Creek Nation amending NCA 22-051, a law of the Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing an appropriation for the construction of the Glenpool Creek Indian Community Center. Sponsor Robert Huff, co-sponsor Leonard Gouch.
Motion to pass.
A motion on the floor from Representative Huff for do pass with a second from Representative Gouch.
Madam Chair,
Discussion, yes.
what this was, in in NCA 2251, there was a bill that was approved for $2,295,360 to build a new building for Glenpool. And after the property they had was really unfit to be used, where here's a pipelines going through it, so they looked for a different property. And just by chance, there was a church building right next to their building already, and so they decided to purchase that. So what we're doing here is that the original bill was like for $2,295,360, and we're going to take out the $600,000 that was used for the purchase of the property, and the remaining dollar amount, which is $1,695,360, we're going to be used for renovation of the purchased building and also the activity building. That's what the bill is just always doing, amending the original one to reduce it by $600,000, and the remainder amount will be used for renovations and stuff.
Thank you, Representative Huff. Are there
Also,
questions?
if you have any questions, the chairman of the Glenpool community is also here.
Would you come forward, please, in the committee and introduce yourself to the committee, please?
Chair, committee, and the opportunity to speak in front of you. You hear me?
Now,
Sorry. So what we're trying to do is,
I'm sorry, could you introduce yourself first?
my name is BJ Wagner. I'm chairman of the board for the Glenpool Creek Indian Community. And so what we're trying to do is actually take the funds, transfer over less the $600,000, and do a renovation on the church to fit our needs as a community, and also be able to renovate the activity center. Allows us to do a lot more than just one building. So that's the plan with the money. And you guys got any questions?
Thank you, sir. Are there questions for Mr. Wagner from the committee?
Madam Chair, I have a question.
Representative Gouge, you have the floor.
Mr. Wagner, can you express how many kids you have running through your program and your activity center there?
But yes, our community has 60 kids sign up for the Olympics this year. We have a wrestling team that's in our activity center that could be anywhere from 30 to 15 kids. They wrestle for the Scissortail wrestling program. We're developing hopefully a diabetes program. We purchased the equipment from the grant that we got, And we're wanting to do it where people could come in, during the day and get a good exercise, good workout. But with the facilities we have now, we don't have heat and air in there. So it's really tough during the summer, really tough during the winter. So that's using some of that funds for that, to fix that problem and that issue. And I don't know how you say it, but pretty up the place, because it's pretty ran down. It's been a lot of years since it's been remodeled. And the church itself is fit for a church, not our community.
Thank you, sir. Senator Gouge, is that all your questions?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Are there other questions for Mr. Wagner? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Robert Huff,
Yes.
Leonard Gouge,
Yes.
Hannah Marshall,
Yes.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Galen Cloud,
Yes.
Nelson Harjo,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Darrell Proctor,
Yes.
Mary Crawford.
Yes.
Madam Chair, you got 9 in favor and 0 against.
9 in favor and 0 against. NCA 23-065 is passed. Next item, NCA 23-066. Allow the Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing a donation to Native Amer-I-Can for the Zoyaha Children of the Sun Festival 2023.
Motion to
Sponsor,
pass.
Representative Mark Randolph. There's a motion on the floor from
Motion to
Representative
pass.
Huff for do pass. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second from Representative McHenry. Discussion?
Thank you, Madam Chair and committees. We did a little research on this, and prior, a couple years back, 2011, 2012, 2013, we used to fund the Uchi Festival. It was $5,000 then, and it was in the cab. After 3 years, it would go into the cab. And so there's nothing that's really been done since then. When I seen this, I reached out to Mr. Dio. I see that he's very instrumental, very outstanding among the Zoyaha people, with their culture, with their language. He graduated in May as a professional legal assistant from a paralegal program. And I just thought, I know the pandemic and just through the years, if the Uchi Festival could start again, I know they were building it up for 3 years. I went silent for a while. Then here we are again. And so what I'd like to do, I'm here to respectfully ask you that we would support them in their endeavors. I'd like to welcome the Zoyaha people that are here. Thank you for coming. And I think from 2013 to now, 10 years, we were at 5,000. Things have doubled, things have tripled. There's inflation. So, and if you look at the itemized budget that I gave you, that he sent in, Mr. Deal, I think that explains that. But if I could, Madam Chair, if I could call Mr. Deal up, and if you all have any questions or anything you'd like to ask him, is that fine?
Certainly, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hello,
Welcome, Mr.
Madam
Dio.
Chair.
Do you have some comments to make? Did you have some comments to make, or did you just
Excuse
want?
me?
Do you have any comments to make?
I'm here on behalf of Zoyaha Fest. I am Native American is my, we're an independent community grassroots organization, and I fund these types of activities with the sale of my native patchwork, southeastern style, and things have snowballed, and our festival has grown, as well as the cost. And Mr. Randolph, he reached out to me and extended a hand, and I gladly accepted it, and I stand here before you today as a representative of Zoyaha Fest, and I hope that you will help our endeavors in this pursuit for the festival. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, sir. Are there questions for Mr. Dio from the committee?
This is Representative Cloud.
Yes, Representative Cloud, you have the floor.
Shadil, thank you for coming here. We spoke yesterday pretty lengthily on one of these things that was my concern, you know, with the pass of the stickball game was my main concern. With years ago, there was what we talked about was there was a game that was wanted to be played here out here at Creek Nation Complex. But I know the late Bobby Argy and some men had, you know, put a stop to that, you know, because that was something that we still play. I mean, that's a game of life for us, and it's still played, you know, like we discussed yesterday. So with that, I'm glad you explained it to me what this stickball tournament was, you know, and how it was going to be played, and it was the Choctaw way. Is that what it comes out to?
Tournament style. Usually it's our tournament in particular has 16 on the field, a 20-person roster. It is co-ed, 10 men and 6 women, and it is a tournament. Last year was our first time to have our own, but we have participated in several tournaments in the past 2 years with the Choctaws, with the Chickasaws, and the Mississippi Choctaws and Cherokees. Our network has grown, and so that's what I'm expecting, a bigger crowd this year. And so that's why, part of the reason why I'm here, trying to gather some funds for that. Like I said, I usually fund this with the sale of my products, and it just has grown. But as far as the stickball game goes, we respect Buggy. We all that play this tournament competition style, we have the utmost respect for that. We do not cross that line. As far as the grounds that have that game still, they are blessed. But for us Yuchi people, we don't have that match game no more. So this is a way for us to participate in that type of activity. So we keep it. We stay in our lane. Like I said, we stay respectful of that. We are aware, and like I said, we just stay respectful.
Madam Chair.
Thank you, Representative Cloud. Are there other questions from the committee for Mr. Dio?
Madam Chair?
Yes, Representative Marshall.
Hi. You and I both had a long conversation yesterday as well. Since you've done this several times, what kind of fundraising have you done to raise funds since you've done it? And you've done it for, I guess, $5,000 in the past? And due to the cost, it's increased to $15,000?
No.
Okay.
We're on a bare bones budget. Like I said, I reach out for sponsors, and then I use the sale of my products to help fund this. No, it's growing, and I expect a bigger crowd this year. And like we're just trying to supply our tournament. We just have volunteers. We donate a lot of the stuff that we use, being scoreboards, announcing PA systems, stuff like that. So that's what the cost is going for the tournament, and for like an announcer's booth. You know, kind of make it, catch us up to speed, I guess you could say. Our resources are slim, but we make the best of what we got.
Okay. Do you charge entry fees?
Yes, we do.
How much is that?
The entry fee for the teams is $50, and for the vendor fee, it's $25.
Okay.
Outside and inside is $50.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you,
Thank you, Representative Marshall. Representative Randolph, did you have a comment?
I just wanted to clarify something. Ms. Marshall, you know, when I was saying the Yuchi Festival in 2011 to 2013, that was a totally different committee. They're no longer together, and that was like, 10, 11, 12 years ago. I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Are there other questions from the committee for Mr. Dio? Hearing none, roll call vote, please. Thank you, sir.
Robert Huff,
Yes.
Leonard Gouge,
Yes.
Anna Marshall,
Yes.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Galen Cloud,
Yes.
Nelson Harjo,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Darrell Proctor,
No.
Mary Crawford.
Yes.
Madam Chair, you got 8 in favor and 1 against.
8 in favor and 1 against. NCA 23-066 is passed. And Ms. Patricia Killian, could we have a funding source for this, please?
Yes, I just want to clarify too, is this for for 15,000 or 5,000?
15. The request is 15,000.
It would be interest on permanent fund.
Interest on permanent fund. Thank you, Ms. Killian.
Thank you.
That completes the legislative agenda. We are down to other business. Is there any other business from the committee? Hearing none, we're down to announcements. Are there any announcements from the committee? Planning session will follow this meeting directly. As soon as this one's finished, we'll get in our places and we'll have our speaker here. We're down to adjournment and benediction, and I would like to request Representative Cloud to do our benediction, and this will stand as our adjournment. Please stand if you're able.
Wadi Hanuat, Buski Halwa Legitsa. Wasn't it that Hanuadi or Morga that Hanuadi Nagides? Aunijitsa, Jindu Jetirundo. Avonagi Hanuadi has also Malega, Mavata that Nagida Yikjuzin, Yavata that. Mustagi that Nagides, Muaga, so we put it in Rundo. Nagi Hanuadi Bonaizi Yata. Marata Hilirundo. You shall get that Moya Dokalga. Marata Istimaskogima, Ujivagi Rundo, Marata, Madamu Idesen, Ujivi Dundu. O Hanuadi, Ujohato that in Mikalgi, in Miko, that Moalega Mo, Alaga Mo, Ilirundo, Marata Izia. Nago Marga Hanuadia, Istijade into Goda, Ifulizet, Moon, Abiak Noa, Indian Heathen, Nagin in Yikchozet, Marata, Emoid on it, Nagides, Igui agent, Nagit Moichidundo, Marata, Gioki Dundundui. Nagi Omaga Hanuan, Salaga Haga do the years, 2 years don't do as a Nagides, I get legend, Punix in Punhagi don't do as a Monata, Punhi Jichidundo. Nagi Hovonagi, Nagides Azolagatat, is the Hekida Imagasetska that Ajinoa, Nagides, Omaga Hobani, Dui, Monata, Madamui doesn't, I get legend fully don't do as Nagin is the Moscow that Nagin in Hilana, Monata, Man Fatsaman, Wheeling, Monata, Gui don't do. Nago Margaret Hanuat, Jim Weke.
And Representative Meadow, Representative Cloud, we are adjourned at 6:43 p.m. Thank you.